fun, this show. I love it.
You like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I like to be loose for the morning. This is good.
well, welcome back to the UK, because you were born here.
Thank
You are one of us. We will quite rightly claim you as our own. How has your trip been so far?
Oh, lovely. Had a great time here,
Yeah?
Been in for 4 days. Been really quite busy, and a glorious sunshine today came out.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Just for you.
Yeah.
And congratulations to you both. You married last year.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're still on honeymoon, so to speak. In fact, you married in one of the most beautiful parts of the world, shrouded in secrecy, dare I say. Where did you get married?
Tombo Mache, Peru.
Peru.
Yeah, so that's...
It was really beautiful. We're married on a mountain, side of a mountain, with a Quechua priest and 2 musicians. One was playing flutes, one was playing a ram's horn, and in their national costume. And I think we're married. It was in another language. But...
Because it was totally secret, wasn't it? I mean,
Yes.
even from your closest relatives, you didn't tell anybody.
I told
did
my
you?
daughter. We told Chloe because that would not have been fair.
Oh,
to nobody else. And it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
It was
How
just
did you actually
us.
meet?
We met through one of my best friends is married to an environmental architect, and they went to a show. John was demonstrating his herbs from the Amazon, and they introduced us, and that was 17 years ago. So we were just friends. And then when I went through breast cancer, John gave me some of his herbs, and I gave him one of my puppies. And, not my puppies, my dog had puppies.
No wonder we liked you so much.
So if you were together 17 years, what changed it into friendship to marriage?
Well, I'll tell you the rest of the story, because the dog has a big part in this. 2.5 years ago, I was doing a concert in Florida. John lives in Florida, so I asked my assistant to call John, see if he'd like to come to the show and bring his girlfriend, because I presume he'd have a girlfriend, but he brought the dog. And that's how we kind of reconnected. The dog remembered me. John remembered me as well. And he invited me to Peru the next day. He said, you know, he'd seen my show and he thought my music... What do you tell him, darling? You tell that part of it, because...
Well, yeah, at the concert, she was singing some of her new CD, and the music was so healing. Everyone in the audience had this healing going on. And I immediately thought, I would love to have her come to the rainforest and meet some healers, some curanderos, who I've been working with in the jungles in the Amazon for many years. And I asked her to go to Peru. She had never been. 6 months later, we went down with our friends. And day 2 in the rainforest, we fell forever madly in love.
And you really have. I mean, you are a bit of a real... I know you're still holding
Touching onto here all the time.
17 years.
So sweet.
You really are a bit of a real-life Indiana Jones, aren't you? I mean, the Amazon rainforest is really the core of your relationship. It's that kind of shared passion and belief in its future and in its preservation that's kept you together.
Yeah, we're very passionate about it. And I was called, seemed like I was called to the Amazon about 30 years ago. So I've been going down dealing with a variety of kind of treasure for many years. Some pre-Columbian treasure and tribal artifacts and blowguns and gemstones. But about 18 years ago, I was introduced to these healing botanicals there and recognized that, gee, all these years you're chopping this stuff down looking for treasure, that's the real treasure of the Amazon. You know, extraordinary treasure there.
And is it true that it's something like there's only 3% of the plants there that have been actually documented and
Only
used?
3% of the botanicals have really been studied for the therapeutic value by Western science, and yet almost half of the pharmaceuticals have their footprint in nature. And so it's really been about healing, kind of a healing evolution, and Olivia's been singing songs about the rainforest and nature for so many years, so we recognize this shared passion. And the rainforest is so critical now because, a third of the world's oxygen comes from the Amazon. It's the world's largest climate stabilizer, and it's the living pharmacy to the world.
I mean, we are all becoming far better educated about what we need to do, but a large part of what you guys do together is about educating the people that live there, the people that have absolutely no access to the modern world, and it's about making sure that they understand, isn't it, what they've got and how they can best look after it.
Yes, we're involved with a group down there called ASEA, which is the Amazon Centre of Education and Environmental Research, and they help educate the children of the Amazon who live in these little tributaries up the river to the value of a living rainforest. So as they grow up, they can make the right choices to what happens to their own forest. And John's been helping them get rights and title to their own land so they can make the appropriate choices when they're when the lumber companies and the oil companies come in, they can make the right choices.
Making
Because
them-
everything affects everyone. We all affect each other, you know?
Yeah, it's so important. And of course, right now, Prince Charles has a new initiative with his rainforest project, Rainforest SOS. And he's so good bringing awareness and articulating so well the value of that living rainforest to climate stabilization. You know, as we go in this climate shift, climate change, climate warming, the Amazon rainforest is the climate stabilizer of the world.
But Olivia, something else that you've been making us all very aware of is in this breast cancer awareness week is breast cancer and the value of early detection, which I think
Yes.
you really benefited from, didn't
Early
you?
detection is key, and
Yes.
so I encourage women to do regular breast exam, because if there are any changes and you find them early, you're better chances of survival. And I found my lump myself, and when I went to have a mammogram, it didn't show. So that's why I'm an advocate of, you know, being responsible for your own breast health, for doing regular self-exam, and if you find anything untoward, then you go and have a checkup and start having checkups early. Unfortunately, younger and younger women are getting breast cancer, so you need to be really aware of your own breast
Well, the
health.
fact that you're here 15 years on, cancer clear,
Yes.
is everything that needs to be said about self-examination. And thank goodness you are, because as we mentioned in your intro, you're just one of the greats. So let's take a little look back at some of your finest moments. You've never seen Grease on its first release. In fact, when you saw...
Not until after we were married. I'd heard about it, you know.
So where did you end up seeing Grease, and
I was
when?
probably the only person in the Northern Hemisphere that hadn't seen it. You know.
We were actually having dinner with John Travolta at his home, and he has a runway, and his new jet was coming in. He just had it refurbished. And John had told John Travolta, my John's mixed up here, that he hadn't seen Grease. So he invited us on the plane to see the new refurbishment and to have dessert on the plane. It was very glamorous. And we sat down, and Grease was playing. So he showed it. So John saw it with both of us on his plane. So that was the first time he'd seen it.
There is so much more that we would love to talk to you about. Sadly, we are out of time. Please, will you come back and see us again?
Yeah, I'd love to.
We'd love to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for their fine work. Olivia Newton-John and her husband, John Easterling. Thank you. Time for another quick break, but before we go,